this set of discussion is going to be focused on what are the opportunities specifically for the Gen Z and Millennials. And what's unique about this cohort is that this generation under 35 is actually the first set of digital natives. You grew up using all these technologies. So one thing that I would add to all the answers that everyone did prior was you just got to show up. And I think everyone said that, but be that yes person in your organization, even as we're working offline, like volunteer to help out, because once you become that trusted team member, people will go to you. So Jill, can you tell us about what you think are the specific opportunities for this generation?
Absolutely. Vote, and invest. So vote to elect the next generation of leaders. Together, Gen Z and Millennials are 37% of the electorate in the United States. And Gen Zs saw a 40% participation rate in the 2018 primary elections. That's the highest for any electorate in history. So you have the ability to elect the next generation of leaders. Use it. But due to COVID-19, you have to learn how your state will be handling absentee voting and reach out to your state and local representatives to ensure that your vote is counted. I'm on the board of Ignite National, which has some good information on how to vote during the pandemic, and there's a link to that included here. Secondly, vote with your wallet. Support brands that reflect your values. Be purposeful with your money. Most brands know that they have to adapt to the social and the environmental expectations of your generation, but they can be slow to do that. Keep the pressure on. While legacy brands are struggling to find their purpose, Gen Z friendly brands will take the lead. They'll create sustainable, authentic, and transparent products and services that address the concerns and the aspirations of you and your peers. And they build trust for the future. Companies like Everlane and Warby Parker, Impossible Burger, and Tom's, they're already household names. And lastly, invest in companies that reflect your values. You've been doing that. Millennials, women have been doing that. Investment managers are beginning to understand that climate risk is investment risk. Things are changing. In his annual letter to corporate CEOs, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the largest asset management firm in the world, shared his conviction that sustainability and climate integrated portfolios can provide a better risk-adjusted return to investors. So as you build a portfolio of investments, keep in mind that you can structure it to reflect your values.
Thanks so much, Jill. The COVID-19 has really created a once-in-a-generation chance to reimagine our future. So it's so important that we take, that everyone takes actions to find that future. Mariana, can you share?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I am a computer scientist and an artificial intelligence major. And I've studied this back when most people didn't even know in Germany, at least, what computer science was. They thought, because it's called informatic, and they thought I was studying journalism. And at the time, in the early 80s, I studied artificial intelligence. But now artificial intelligence can be used and should be used. So this is one of the most important aspects that, that I find extremely exciting. For instance, that we could use right now, for instance, if there is anything that you miss within this crisis that you would like to have, for instance, let's pick something. Is it a contract that you would like to do and doesn't go through because there aren't enough people going to work and so on? There are AI tools that are able to help you, or maybe you can develop those that can help you with, processing contracts faster. There are systems that can do that 1,000 times faster than normal things. Another thing, shopping. I miss, for instance, going into a store and trying on something, a dress or a piece of pants or whatever. So you can, if that's what you like to do, you could start developing an AR system, VR system that helps people shopping. offline shopping. There are systems that are doing that right now, or companies that are developing. So digitalization is massively accelerated through COVID-19, which also leads to dematerialization and democratization, which means that makes stuff available to everybody. And Jill mentioned something very important that I'd like to reiterate on. She talks about investing, and most of us would think, oh my God, but I don't have money to invest. Well, I would encourage you to reconsider the definition. You are an investor. You, as she said in her presentation, you invest with your vote. You invest with with your time, your money, your resources. Everybody's an investor. Another thing that you could do, education is going to shift, as you know, probably massively. We're moving away from a 1 degree at the beginning of life toward a lifelong learning. The same thing is happening to healthcare. What can you do to contribute to the development of an industry that is starting new? Ongoing education, lifelong learning versus 1 degree. Or 2 or 3 at the beginning of your life. Healthcare is the same thing. We're moving away from healthcare or sick care, as I would rather call it today, to ongoing healthcare. So what is it that you are missing that you would like to have that you could develop? And then we could go at, have more time, or in one of the later conferences, we could go into the details, how you could do that, how you can develop a business plan, gather a team, fundraising. There is more capital available than ever before. So don't buy into this scarcity thinking, because it's wrong. Scarcity is a lie. And fear is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Don't let it guide you.
So I just wanted to also acknowledge, because before anyone forgets, is that there is a lot of our audience might have student debt, and we will have to take on, and some of take jobs that maybe aren't the best job, but it pays the bills. You could find a side gig. You can still get engaged with these other communities to actually apply your passions to these jobs, because the key is that every situation offers you an opportunity to build your relationships, but also to gain new experience and skills. And that's all you need to focus on. So even though these perfect jobs may not be available right now, that if you don't have a job this summer, go volunteer, do an internship. And Peggy's going to talk all about that.
Well, I would say, number one, I want you to know that your opportunities are endless. And so you can do anything. My sons are 15 and 16 right now, and I started JUCCCE 13 years ago. And that means their entire life, they've seen their mom focus on changing the world and succeed 5 times over. So they see that this is possible. And the most important thing to do is remove any limiting beliefs that someone else put on you, like shackles, and makes you think that you're anything less but a powerful creator of the world that you want. I mean, look at Greta, look at Malala. They show us that no matter what age you are, your voice can send ripples around the globe. So the key to making an impact at this time, at your age, is just focus your attention and your imagination on the world as you want it to be, but single-mindedly focus on the world you want as if it were real now. So to visualize this world, the world needs your help using, like Tess said, digital storytelling tools like AR, VR, YouTube, TikTok. They can help paint the picture of the world you want in a way that is so real, it seems like it already exists. So be the director of the movie of the future you want. Use your imagination and your curiosity, your sense of magical wonder of what could be. Follow your joy, paint a detailed picture of how people can live in that world with you. Love every detail. Describe that world to others with such a passion that people are drawn into that world. Like Lewis Carroll writing about Alice's Wonderland. I created a class for you guys, how to change the world one person at a time, that explains why storytelling is the key to everything. The next thing is that I think travel is going to be restricted for the next 2 years. So people with cultural literacy will play an invaluable role in bridging the fragmented world. The global web threatens to separate into tribal bubbles, more so, with increasing nationalism, blaming each other, victimhood, the lack of in-person meetings. So cultural bridges can prevent the disintegration of this global web by enticing people to learn more and more and engage about your culture. So look at, for example, RadiiChina.com, the way that they paint a gorgeous picture of Chinese culture and all the aspects that you love and tickle your senses about your culture, show that culture on the platforms that you like to frequent. That's, I think, the opportunity for this generation.